2 years ago, I was getting incredibly frustrated with the concept of potential. To get anywhere near accomplishing your potential, you have to give something your all. But giving something your all is an incredibly difficult thing to do. Around that time, I discovered beach volleyball. I was terrible. Of course, I'm going to be terrible. I was 5'6", still 5'6". I was 24 years old, and I'd started late.
But I was obsessed, and I needed to answer the question: if I gave this sport my all, how good could I get? In the beginning, I struggled with everything. I shanked passes, chucked sets all over the place, and I absolutely could not hit over the net. This was my honeymoon phase. I trained every single day to start 2024. 6:30 a.m. before work on weekdays, then I was in the gym after work. I lived at the beach on weekends. I was obsessed. I watched film. I asked every better player than me every question I could. I was a sponge of volleyball knowledge, and I desperately wanted to get better. My goal was to catch up. I had started late, and I was a small player. I had to work as hard as I possibly could to make up for lost time. But it was 4 months into my journey, when I signed up for my first officially sanctioned beach volleyball tournament, that I learned my first and most painful lesson. Effort does not translate to immediate success in this sport. I need to provide a little context. In California, we have the CBVA rating system. There are other local tournaments, and I'd played a couple of those and done okay, so I thought I should be able to do pretty decently in a B-level tournament, which is the second lowest format. But no, this is California beach volleyball, and even B tournaments are legit. In the first round of B playoffs, I got destroyed by two guys in their 40s. They weren't bigger, they weren't more athletic, they just controlled the game. My effort didn't matter, my conditioning didn't matter, my vertical didn't matter. Their ball control and their strategy dismantled us. Weirdly, I didn't feel discouraged. I felt exposed. I wasn't losing to big dudes detonating on balls 2 feet above the net. I was losing to discipline, to decision making, and to fundamentals. Honestly, that tournament taught me that I didn't really even know what beach volleyball was about. Beach volleyball isn't about raw athleticism. It's about nuance. There's 1,000 micro skills: shot selection, tempo control, defensive positioning, vision. And each of those skills have different levels of depth to them. And the only way to learn them is to keep playing. So that's what I did. I kept running into walls. I'd try to learn how to swing, and my passing would fall apart. I'd try to focus on my passing, and I'd start to lose my mind because why is passing so hard to fix? Progress never felt clean or linear, and if I'm being honest, most of 2024 was filled with doubt. Some days I felt like I was chasing goals that were physically impossible. But I kept showing up. Along the way, I made friends, I found community. The beach became more than just a place where I was going to grind. And in November 2024, I won my first tournament. It wasn't a CBVA, it wasn't high level, and the final point I blasted a swing that clipped the tape and trickled over, but it was a win. And it was just enough proof for me to believe that my effort was working. I came into the 2025 offseason with momentum. I traveled for 2 beach volleyball camps in Spain, where I got tons of reps. In one of them, I got to play an exhibition match with English pro Isabella Train. Playing with him blew my mind and convinced me I wanted to play higher level ball. I set a new goal for 2025, to earn my CBVA AA, the second highest rating in California beach volleyball. In 2024, I had barely managed to earn my B rating, a feat which made me genuinely happy. I won my pool for the first time ever in an A, a big milestone for me. But when I stepped up to serve with the score at 0-0 in the first round of playoffs, I felt pure panic. My anxiety was so high, I distinctly remember the defining thought of that game being, I need to hurry up and lose so I can just go home. We went down 0-10 before losing 10-21. It was painful and embarrassing, and it kept happening. I would go on to place poorly in 11 tournaments in a row. It was honestly a rough time for me. I put a lot of pressure on myself, and it hurt my identity to fail as much as I was. But each tournament taught me something, and I grew through it. I started keeping a volleyball journal. I learned how to talk to myself, what my body needs before important games. It took a while, but I overcame that anxiety, and I can confidently say now that there are a few things I crave more than an intense playoff game. While this psychological journey was happening, I was still training a lot. In the summer of 2025, though, I started to plateau. I was getting better, but not fast enough. I needed to be exposed to more ideas, more concepts, more ways to play. I needed something to speed up my progression. In June, I would get that opportunity. I got to spend 1 month in Hermosa Beach, the beach volleyball epicenter of the US. On top of that, I got to live with Alex Uckelberg, an active AVP pro. I made the most of this month. I got coached by 5 to 6 different pro coaches, which was my way of exposing myself to ideas that I otherwise would have gotten from a long playing history. I played tons of games and tournaments, and I even won my first ever cash tournament, a $200 spike and go that had me buzzing for a long time after. I played my second AA, and for the first time ever, I won a game. beating 2 AA rated opponents in what was a huge milestone for me. Of course, I then lost the next 3 games and didn't pull out, but hey, AAs are hard. After the productive month in Hermosa, I returned back to SF, ready to do some damage. Of course, I didn't see results. It was a weird place to be. I'd gotten better, but I wasn't being rewarded for it. I played a B and made it to the finals before I cramped out. I failed to pull out of 2 A's and felt the frustration returning. And then, in September of 2025, I played a AA in Santa Cruz. The tournament was tough from the start. We won Game 1 21-19 off a lucky pokey, and Shrey, who I was playing with that tournament, was blocking incredibly that game. Game 2 was even tighter. We won 23-21 in dues. And then suddenly I was 2-0 in AA pools. Game 3 was against the number 1 seed, and they were good, but we got ahead early and we hung on. And just like that, I'd won my first ever AA pool. In the quarterfinals, we matched up against 2 former AAA players that had just won their round of 16 game by 16 points. They were the only thing standing between me and my 2025 goal of the AA rating. 6 months ago, I probably would have freaked out, but today, I was surprisingly calm. It was neck and neck from the start, with some rallies lasting over 40 seconds. There were tons of high-quality rallies and digs. I was playing some of my best volleyball. In a game to 28, with the AA on the line, we were down 24-25.
Come on, Joey.
So yeah, we lost. That was the last AA of the season, and I was 2 points away. But I didn't crumble, and I don't have any regrets. I think this tournament leveled me up as a player. I had a newfound sense of confidence built on this accomplishment. I then entered my first ever CBVA Open, and I went 2-2. We even managed to beat the pool's 1 seed, 2 top 50 rated AAA opponents. 2 years ago, I didn't even know if it was possible for me to hit a ball over the net at my height. Now, I'm stealing games from AAA opponents. The journey is not even 10% complete. I feel like in 2025, I accomplished both everything I wanted and nothing I wanted, depending on which version of me you ask. Officially, I failed my 2025 goal. I'm not AA. You don't get to claim a rating you didn't earn. But that tournament changed everything for me. I got myself into a 26-26 situation with everything on the line in the quarterfinals. And I lost. I'm still B-rated. But I'm coming for that AAA with a vengeance next year. I've started a YouTube and Instagram series called Road to AAA for those that want to follow along. I'm a B-rated beach volleyball player. And this is episode 1 of Road to AAA. Also, I quit my job and I'm on a 6-month work sabbatical, so please like and subscribe.